After they after they had flown out of the country, after that the FIR has been registered, and in the evening, after several hours, they had fled India. Lookout notice was being given out, and even after that, a blue corner notice was issued by Interpol to know about the whereabouts. But the question is still on Goa police and the administration of state of Goa, that how come they could flee the scrutiny of Goa police exactly in few hours of this deadly tragic incident? They take a flight and flee out of the country. How could they not come under the scrutiny of maybe the police department, or the government administration?
Right. Also, Swarali, talk to us about now, since the bulldozer action is underway in Vagator in Goa, and the Romeo Lane, this is the same club that has been, that was built and owned by the Luthra brothers. It has now headed for a demolition. Swarali, talk to us about what exactly have the reason that have been stated by the officials on why this club that has been owned by the Fugitive brothers is being demolished.
Yes, so the exact reason for the demolition, what we are catching from on ground, is that this is the encroached land. If we can see in the visuals, there's a stone wall. If I can ask my video journalist to zoom in to the visuals, there's a stone wall. That's the limit for the shack to be built by Romeo Lane, owned by Luthra brothers, but that was not abided. At multiple levels, laws and norms were not followed. Time that this property is being brought down. This is the second time the bulldozer is being used. The audacity of these owners, on one hand, wherein the fire security norms were not followed. On the other hand, encroachment was also seen in their property. This is the second property owned by Romeo Lane, that is Luthra brothers, and this is the second time the crackdown, the bulldozer action is being taken, because we can clearly see through our visual that this is an encroached land. Even after once taking down the entire property, the encroached land, this was for the second time that this was built. The area of 198 square kilometers is being razed in front. We can see the visuals live. We are showing you visuals from ground zero, and we already know that 4 arrests have been made in the case. The 5th one is Bharat Kohli, is being brought down to Goa for investigating the connection with the Luthra brothers, and the third partner, Ajay Gupta, is also being on the fray and is on the radar of Goa police. So this is the kind of action being taken by the Goa police. And let me tell you, this is the first action after the major fire incident that took place, but several nightclubs, restaurants or bars can come under the scrutiny, and such major breakthrough crackdown action can be taken.
Right. Swarali, also talking about the connection of the Luthra brothers, that they had fled to Phuket. Now the Interpol and the other agencies are also fearing that they could likely fly to Dubai. And amidst all of this, a crackdown on their club back here in Goa is happening, where this is a club called Romeo Lane, which is being demolished. It has been owned by the Luthra brothers. Swarali, we learned that there are some family members of the Luthra brothers who are in Dubai, and that is why the Interpol is fearing somewhere or the other that after Phuket, the next hideout of these Luthra brothers might be Dubai.
Yes, that's the kind of information we are following in from ground zero. Let me tell you that they own a house in Dubai, and their family members are supposed to be in Dubai. It is being said by, and agencies are also suspecting and investigating on this angle. After Phuket, their hideout area may be in Dubai. That's the kind of angle which is being investigated right now. On one hand, wherein the major bulldozer action is being done, a major crackdown in the state of Goa, wherein 25 people, innocent people, have lost their life to a major fire tragedy. The major crackdown action is following the mishap that has happened On our TV screens, Republic TV is showing you the major action. The wooden plank, which is on the encroachment area, 198 square kilometers of area, is being razed down. As you all know, there was a total pressure from opposition, from people of Goa. Answers were expected from government. Strong action, strict action was expected. The question still arises that why was action not taken before the incident took place? But the kind of action and justice was requested and expected. One part of it we can see in our visuals.
All right, yes. Sorali, also, just to give our viewers, stay with me, I'll just give our viewers a background of what's actually happening on the screen right now. On screen, viewers, is the demolition of a club called Romeo Lane in Vagator in Goa that is being demolished by the authorities. This after the Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant had given a demolition order. Now, why is this club important? Is because this club has been owned by the fugitive brothers, Gaurav Luthra and Saurabh Luthra, the same Luthra brothers who were responsible for the death of the 25 people in another club that they own, which is known as the Birch, that is also in Goa. Now, why they are responsible is because soon after fire broke out in a club in Goa, the Birch club. The owners, the Luthra brothers, had then fled the country. They had escaped to Phuket, after which a lookout circular was issued against them, and later on we learned that today a blue cordon notice has been issued against him. The CBI has got in touch with the Interpol, but all of this happened after the after the fugitive brothers had already fled to Phuket. Now what is happening is, back here in India, the authorities have tightened the noose against the fugitives. Their clubs that are being that were built illegally, that were built on a land that permission was not taken on, that was encroached, is now being demolished by the authorities. The question really is, will they be able to get hold of the Luthra brothers, and if yes, then when? Because nearly 3 days, 36 hours have already passed. Sunday is when the incident had happened of the fire tragedy, which had killed 25 people, had injured others as well. And now is when the action is being taken. Why this club is also important? Because this is the same club that had been demolished by the authorities of Goa earlier. However, it was reconstructed by the club management, by the Luthra brothers, and yet no action was taken then. And Swarali, that brings me to my another question to you. Why is it that after the reconstruction, when the reconstruction of the club was done, why was this demolition not taken place then? And why is it that the demolition is taking place now when the fire has already broken out, 25 people have already been killed?
Yes, that's true. When we tried to question authorities in such a line of investigation, they've informed us that this is a totally different case. That's what the authorities from Government of Tourism are telling us, that this was brought down in July. And when we tried to ask that why is this second action being taken after the 25 lives were lost, at that time they had said that it was not related to the fire NOC. This specific property, Romeo land, which is situated in Vagator, the demolition of this property is not related to the absence of fire NOC, but encroachment of land. Now we can see that several level of fractures in the system and the kind of approval or permissions being given are coming out after the fire NOC being not in place, and 25 people losing their lives. Second property of owned by Luthra brothers who are not currently in India, they have fled the scene, is coming out, and due to the encroachment of 198 square kilometer of land, the entire wooden plank property structure is being brought down, which is normally called a shack, which is present on the seashore. And we are currently present in the Vagator area, and these are the live visuals. Republic TV is showing you the kind of action that is being taken, a major crackdown after a major fire tragedy unfolded in Goa, due to which 25 people had to lose their lives.
You had earlier spoken with the BJP member of parliament from Goa there. What did he have to say while you spoke to him regarding his own government, who is today under the question, under scrutiny for letting go of the Luthra brothers who were responsible for the death of nearly 25 people?
Right. A quick correction before I start to answer this question. I tried and talked with BJP MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, Michael Lobo, who is MLA of Kalangut region, where the tragic fire incident had taken place. At that time, he had informed us that why in first place trade license was issued by Sarpanch Roshan Redkar. First, when Republic tried to talk and interact with Roshan Redkar, he had informed us that he had put out a demolition notice, and we have accessed all the documents made with a trade license or demolition notice. But to answer this question, there's an allegation from BJP MLA Michael Lobo. He say, according to his allegations, the trade license was issued before even having excise permission or pollution control board fire NOC in place. These permissions were lacking. First, the trade license was made, and then all these permissions were sought. There was no official from all these departments on site to check whether all the measures are taken or not. That's the kind of allegation which is being put by BJP MLA Michael Lobo himself, and he has said that I am trying to put pressure on government because the tragic incident has unfolded in my constituency and I'm accountable to people of Goa and India. That's what he has told us.
Right. So then can we say, Swarali, that there is an infighting within the BJP only that's broken out over and a blame game then has erupted over what happened in Goa?
I don't know whether we can call it a blame game or not, but definitely a leader from within the ruling party itself is saying that I cannot come on camera and say that the government is not wrong at any level. There has been fallacies on the government side because 3 officers are already suspended. That's what Michael Lobo had told us, that former Secretary of Pollution Control Board, on the other hand, former Secretary and Director of Panchayat were also suspended, and there's more crackdown happening on the government officers. So he very well said to us that definitely there were some fallacies in the system of the government, but he's demanding strong action. He has also said that if the strong action is not taken, a course of action is not done right, he'll go to North SP's office and he'll protest for the people. 25 innocent lives that has been lost, but definitely he was trying to show the measures and the lapses in the system taken by the various departments, maybe the excise department. Trade license was approved, and he was saying the Sarpanch Roshan Redkar had an authority to cancel the trade license. Instead of doing that, he just put out a demolition notice. He was trying to question that whether was it a chance given to Luthra brothers to appear in front of Directorate of Panchayat and bring a stay order, because we know that in court several dates are given and the next hearing was to be supposed to be held on 17 December. So he was saying that the case was under trial for last 2 years. Was that an effort to give them a chance to go to Panchayat Directorate and bring a stay order? In spite of that, he could have directly cancelled the trade license. By the BJP MLA Michael Lobo. On the other hand, if we talk about the investigation that is going on, let me tell you, Interpol has put out a blue corner notice, which means now the forces across the countries related to Interpol will seek about the whereabouts of the Luthra brothers. And when we are talking about the investigation angle, which is being investigated right now, they have Luthra brothers who are perpetrators, alleged perpetrators, have a home in Dubai. They had just flown to India 4 days before the tragic incident happened on the midnight of 6th December. And within few hours, at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, with the Indigo flight 6C1073, that fled the scene, and they had the audacity to put out a message. We have access the message put out by Saurabh Luthra, one of the owners, one of the brothers, on Instagram, saying that they apologized and they stand with the families in such serious situation. But what was expected by the family, deceased families and those who were injured, that he should come in front and should not fled the investigation, but should have confronted and accepted the allegations put out on him. And we also know that they have properties across Goa and in 22 states of India. Apart from that, they also have properties in such businesses, maybe nightclubs, restaurants or bars. They have it in 4 more countries in India. They have been awarded with prestigious awards. But the kind of security lapses seen in the North Goa's Arpora village, where 25 people had to lose their lives, and that's the reason why such major crackdown is seen, such major action is being taken on the second property of Luthra brothers, that is Romeo Lane shack, which is situated in this area.
Yes.
That's the update we are getting in. We are showing you continuously.
Sorali, yeah.
And showing the visuals, major crackdown done by.
All right, yes. So, Rali, I request you to stay with me because we're getting in one more set of breaking news that's coming in. Again, this is in regard with the same story. We learned that there is a 5th arrest in the case that has taken place, and this accused has now been brought to the Anjuna police station in Goa. Visuals of the same are on your screen. Swarali is continuing to stay live with me on the broadcast. Swarali, from where you are right now, okay, these are the visuals of another accused who was arrested in the tragedy case. He is said to be an accomplice of the Luthra brothers. Luthra brothers have already fled. However, his accomplice has been arrested, traced and now put behind bars, and he could be the key to give out the details on where the Luthra brothers actually are right now. Swarali, coming back to you on that. Now, officials, where you are right now, there is a demolition that's taking place. Officials have said that the shack known as Romeo Lane was illegally built on a government land, and that machinery and staff have already been prepared for the operation. And now, since the demolition is already started, my question to you then is, Swarali, since you have been on the ground, why is it that when it had come to the notice of the authorities that this club has been illegally built on a government land, why was action not taken place then? And why is it that government's action has come too little too late after, especially after the tragedy has taken place and it has come under the light of the public view?
Yes, that's definitely true, because when the entire incident of the major fire tragedy that happened in North Goa's Arpora area, one of the nightclubs owned by Romeo Lane, that is Birch nightclub, when 25 people had to lose their lives. After that, the government woke up to whatever illegal construction or businesses in the sea were operational in across the state, and after the incident took place, 25 people had to lose their lives. After that, an audit, serious audit, ministerial probe was ordered, and it was also said that across Goa, crackdown will be conducted, but that happened.
All right, we seem to have lost that line with Swarali, but on your screen, viewers, are the visual of the 5th accused that has now been arrested in regard with the Goa fire tragedy. And we'll show you what's also happening in Vagator in Goa, where a demolition is taking place in a club called the Romeo Lane that has been owned by the Birch brothers. Why this is being demolished is because this was built and illegally built on a government land, soon after which the government has said that a demolition will be carried on an encroached property. The shack is the 3rd property that has been owned by the brothers Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, both of them now fugitives who fled to Thailand hours after the blaze at their Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub in Arpora, which occurred on the midnight of Saturday. And moving on in the broadcast to some other stories that we're tracking today, in a very important development in the Delhi blast case, the terror doctor, the terrorist Adil Ahmed, was brought by the NIA teams to Kashmir to interrogate him. Along with him, who was present was Jasir Wani, another terrorist who was involved in the Delhi blast case. What was happening in Kashmir with the NIA team and the terror doctor, both of them being in Kashmir? Take a look at this report.
The NIA has intensified its investigation into the Delhi Red Fort blast case. A fresh search operation was launched this morning in Anantnag's Mattan forest belt and neighbouring areas of Kazigund. Two arrested suspects, Dr. Adil Radha and Jasir Bilal Wani, were brought to the forest to help pinpoint hideouts and potential bomb trial sites. Officials say this step is aimed at retrieving evidence and tracing logistics trails of the terror module.
We have seen a blast at near the Red Fort on 10th of November. In that blast, multiple people lost their lives and many of them got injured, and NIA had taken over the case, and since then multiple raids were conducted. But today's raids, we have seen the presence of Dr. Adil, who's actually from Kulgam, and meanwhile also Jasir Bilal Wani. As I said, the Jasir's place was raided also by the NIA yesterday late evening, and also the adjoining areas of his residence were also searched late evening yesterday. And today the NIA sleuth reached here with the two main accused, because the court has already extended their remand, and right now the searches were carried in these woods. These are the dense woods of Anantnag.
This dramatic shift to Anantnag comes after investigators discovered that the main accused in the Red Fort blast, terror doctor Umar Nabi, may have tested explosives in the forests of Jammu and Kashmir before executing the car bombing in Delhi, raising the prospect of a preliminary trial run ahead of the attack. The probe has so far exposed a cross-state, white-collar terror network involving medical professionals and other associates allegedly linked to the banned terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed. Arrests in Delhi, NCR, Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir are part of a larger effort to dismantle this covert support chain. The probe escalated after NIA recovered nearly 2,900 kilos of ammonium nitrate detonators, metal fragments and other bomb-making material from two rented flats in Faridabad. The stockpile indicated planning for a major strike across India, triggering a nationwide shakedown of potential sleeper cells. Since then, several Kashmiri origin doctors working in UP and NCR, as well as other suspects, have been detained, questioned or remanded with the case, casting light on what investigators say is a previously underestimated white-collar terror ecosystem. The ongoing forest operation in Anantnag is now viewed as a critical, perhaps missing link. Recoveries here could help reconstruct the last leg of the white terror conspiracy.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's also have a quick check of all the other stories that are making headlines. This is Bharat in 5 minutes. BJP MLAs staged a protest at the Survana Sauda in Belagavi, accusing the Karnataka state government of failing to address farmers' concerns. Highlighting key issues, BJP leaders said that while the government announced MSP for sugarcane and maize, it did not open procurement markets, leaving farmers without support. At the NDA parliamentary meeting in the National Capital, Union Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Kiran Rijiju said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Reform Express is the central agenda of his historic third term. He explained how the Prime Minister wanted every new policy or law to avoid adding any burden on citizens, with both the centre and the state governments working forward towards this goal.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो थर्ड टर्म ऐतिहासिक सरकार बनी है, उसका सबसे बड़ा एजेंडा है रिफॉर्म एक्सप्रेस. अब ये रिफॉर्म जो है हर एक नागरिक का जिंदगी को बदलने का रिफॉर्म है.
A large crowd gathered in Puducherry as TVK chief and actor Vijay addressed his first public rally since the tragic Karur stampede that claimed 41 lives, with heightened security measures in place. Police capped attendance at 5,000 and mandated QR code entry passes to ensure controlled access. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian Army's Romeo Force has launched a major territorial army recruitment drive in Sukarnkot town of Poonch district following Operation Sindoor, drawing participation from over 30,000 youth across the Union Territory. The large-scale recruitment effort aimed at expanding local involvement in security and development roles will continue until December 15th.
सर हम रोमियो फोर्स जो हमारी इंडियन आर्मी की है उसका बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं कि जैसे कि आजकल जो बेरोज़गारी बढ़ रही है उसे टैकल करने के लिए इन्होंने भर्ती करवाई है और इसमें काफ़ी सारा यूथ ने हिस्सा लिया है। आज करीबन 1500 से 2000 तक लड़कों ने हिस्सा लिया है और करीबन 30,000 तक यहाँ पे पूरी लड़के आएंगे जब पूरी भर्ती में। सर बिल्कुल ये फ्री है, भर्ती बिल्कुल फेयर है, इसमें कोई वो नहीं है, जिसमें दम होगा वही भर्ती करेगा। इसमें 5 मिनट पूरा जोर लगाना पूरी ज़िंदगी बन जाएगी आदमी की।
In Chhattisgarh, Sukma district, once a Maoist stronghold in the Puravati region, is witnessing rapid improvement in connectivity as government agencies and security forces expand civic action program. As part of the initiative, bicycles are being distributed to villages, helping residents who were long isolated with forested areas to access nearby towns and urban facilities more easily. CCTV footage captured a dramatic accident on the Samriddhi Expressway in Maharashtra on Monday afternoon when an SUV lost control, skidded off the course and burst into flames. Within seconds, fortunately, the vehicle's doors were not locked, allowing all 5 occupants to escape just in time before the fire engulfed the car, narrowly avoiding a major tragedy. In Tumakuru in Karnataka, the demand for a Dalit Chief Minister resurfaced as supporters of Karnataka Home Minister Dr. G. Parmeshwara held a march urging the Congress leadership to elevate him to the top post. The rally, which began at a bus stand and proceeded to the SASR circle, saw participants voicing strong backing for Parmeshwara's leadership and pressurizing the party to consider him for the Chief Minister's position. Canadian authorities probing a series of 3 shootings at Kapil Sharma's cafe in Canada have informed New Delhi that attack was allegedly carried out by 2 Punjabi origin suspects, Shari and Daljot Rehal, who are said to have links with the Lawrence Bishnoi gang. The shooters reportedly opened fire on 3 separate occasions using sophisticated weapons, acting on the directions of an alleged mastermind referred to as Sipu. Police and intelligence agencies are now searching for the individuals seen in the photos circulated in the report. Speaking at the centenary celebrations at the Indian Institute of Technology, Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad Adani Group Chairman Gautam Adani said that India must define its own developmental path at a time when global alliances are fracturing and nations are acting in pure self-interest. He emphasized that India's sovereignty now depends on 2 pillars: mastering the resources beneath our feet and mastering the energy that fuels the growth. All right, focus and cutting to what's happening in Mumbai, where beating retreat ceremony is being organized at the Gateway of India as a part of the Navy Day celebrations. The Indian Navy Day 2025 celebrated every year to pay tribute to the courage, discipline and strength of the Indian Navy. It honors the role of the Indian Navy in securing sea through the marine boundaries, safeguarding maritime trade routes and responding to the crisis efficiently. The day highlights the growing capability of the Indian Navy and commitment of being a strong maritime power in the Indian Ocean, with increased emphasis on self-reliance, indigenous technology and operational readiness. The Indian Navy, ladies and gentlemen, has its roots in the commemoration of the Operation Trident that carried out on December 4th, 1971 during the India-Pakistan War in 1971. Under this operation, Indian Navy missile boats carried out a decisive strike on Pakistan Karachi harbour. In fact, let's also listen into what's happening on ground right now, where we are reporting live from Mumbai.
वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरपीओ मसाला।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
भाई मेरा बेटी को प्यार चाहिए, मेरा बेटी का ब्लड आ रहा, ब्लड नीचे से ब्लड आ रहा, प्यार चाहिए, दे दो। क्यों नहीं कर सकता, क्यों नहीं कर सकता, क्यों नहीं कर सकता, मेरे को प्यार चाहिए अभी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आरपीओ मसाला।
भाई मेरा बेटी को प्यार चाहिए, मेरा बेटी का ब्लड आ रहा, ब्लड नीचे से ब्लड आ रहा, प्यार चाहिए, दे दो। क्यों नहीं कर सकता, क्यों नहीं कर सकता, क्यों नहीं कर सकता, मेरे को प्यार चाहिए अभी।
That we have experienced severe operational disruptions for the past.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मम्मा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आरपीओ मसाला।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
gentlemen, you are watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6 with me, Oyana Mitra. Over the next half an hour, I'll be taking you through the details of those 6 stories which have dominated the headlines today. So here we go. Up first, what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when India's aviation watchdog, the DGCA, gives an absolute free run to one of the country's largest carriers? Rules are supposed to be equal for all. But the collapse of the aviation sector, as we have seen over the last 1 week, has proven otherwise. We'll get you the latest details. Second, 2 brothers, now fugitives, have taken refuge in Thailand barely 6 hours after a nightclub that they owned in Goa was reduced to ashes, claiming the lives of 25 people. The demand is one: drag them back, hold them accountable. Next, the details of the trial run that was likely conducted by terror Umar Nabi just days ahead of the Delhi Red Fort blast. The latest developments in the 10/11 probe almost a month after the blast took place. Next, we take you through the issue that the opposition has raised all throughout the monsoon session and the current parliament season. The special intensive revision is finally being debated. Then we take you to Puducherry, viewers, where TVK chief Vijay held his first public rally about 2 months since the tragic Karur stampede. A massive gathering and sharp jibes at the Stalin government. That is the crux of the story. And finally, it was day 2 of the Vande Mataram debate in Parliament. We'll get you the highlights of Home Minister Amit Shah's statement. And with that, let's get started. Our viewers, India's largest airline is facing its largest ever meltdown since the past 1 week. The government, Parliament and the DGCA have all turned the heat on Indigo. Safety questions, scheduling failures and duopoly concerns have exploded into a full-blown national issue. The Civil Aviation Minister issued a statement today in Parliament, his strongest warning yet. The DGCA has clipped Indigo's wings, and even the Prime Minister has expressed concern inside the NDA parliamentary meeting. What is it that has happened so far, and how is it that Indigo is being allowed to get away? Take a look.
India's biggest airline, Indigo, is in deep turbulence. From Parliament to the NDA meeting, from the DGCA's notice to pilots blowing the whistle, Indigo is facing unprecedented heat. Passengers' cry for help finally reached the highest levels of government.
Yesterday night we decided to check all the airport supplies check, how the passengers are get affected, anything, how the things are moving forward. One more thing we are doing is we are giving intimations to the passenger before 6 hours. So the passengers are not rushing to the airport. So the airport, if you see, there's no passengers are available for cancellation purpose. That's one thing we've done it. The passenger reaching airport should reach the destination.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in an NDA meeting this morning, sent a blunt warning. The government will not allow this chaos to repeat, not with Indigo, not with any airline. While in Parliament today, Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu made a massive revelation about airline duopoly dominating Indian skies.
Through our policies, we are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies. More airlines mean more choice, more affordability and more resilience for the passengers.
India's skies are largely Indigo's domain. Operating on 63% of the 1,200 domestic routes, with a striking monopoly on 600 routes and a duopoly on 200 more. Meanwhile, Air India Group trails with a 26.5% market share. Civil Aviation Minister Naidu also exposed what Indigo tried to hide. But in all this chaos, even DGCA played a role. DGCA, in a letter, admitted that it approved extra flights for Indigo, but the airline couldn't maintain the crisis. Therefore, announced to reduce the schedule by 5% across sectors for Indigo. Meanwhile, India's Airline Pilots Association makes several claims. General Secretary of ALPA, Captain Anil Rao, said that DGCA gave Indigo exemptions from FDTL safety rules.
There are a lot of things which they have said that, a glitch in the programming system, rostering planning, crew shortage and all these things which has happened. So that has to be looked into it, and for that DGCA has made a panel of their own officials who will look into this matter and give a review. And I hope that the review comes fast, and the ground reason, the root cause will be explained to the people. Basically, the people have to come to know why this happened to them, that inconvenience happened, and not at small scale, at a very large scale.
Raising several questions, Captain Rao challenges Indigo's miscalculation claims. Captain Rao said that Indigo should explain the root cause and the miscalculation that led to the meltdown. Captain Rao also questioned DGCA's favoritism towards Indigo. The government has stepped in, the regulator has tightened the screws, and the era of unchecked duopoly is over. Indigo wanted to dominate the sector, but now it must first regain public trust.
It's a big headline, ladies and gentlemen. The tragic fire at a Goa nightclub, on one of the deadliest that the state has seen so far, has taken a new turn now. Reports suggest that the Luthra brothers, who are the owners of this nightclub called Birch by Romeo Lane, have essentially fled the country for Thailand. And just 6 hours after the fire was first reported. Meanwhile, after the Goa Chief Minister's order of a demolition, around 198 square meters of the area of another nightclub in that stretch was razed to the ground. The live visuals came in just a few minutes back. There's tough action that's now been taken. During the investigation, it was also found that it was first demolished in July, but it was later reconstructed. As more updates come in, viewers, the authorities have now ramped up investigations as the probe into the incident intensifies. But the question really is, who allowed the fugitive duo to flee? And is the bulldozer action little too much, little too late? Take a look.
Seventh of December 2025, the fatal night of Sunday. A fire broke out in a very popular club in Goa, Birch by Romeo Lane. 25 people killed, many injured. Further, it is being believed that the Luthra brothers, owners of the club Birch by Romeo Lane, have fled away. Within hours of the incident, the club's co-owners fled Goa for Delhi, and by dawn on 7th of December, they had boarded Indigo flight 6C1073 to Phuket. The main owners, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, managed to escape to Phuket shortly after the incident, prompting a multi-state manhunt. Some of the sources told Republic that both the brothers were in Delhi when the incident happened. Later, raids were also conducted at the residences for their passport verification. The fact that raises eyebrows here is that police took time to issue the circular against them. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has recently ordered demolition of the Romeo Club.
ये तस्वीर आप देखिए, यहाँ पर क्लब है और अगर यहाँ कुछ होता है तो लोगों को बचने का कोई भी मौका नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि सब कुछ लकड़ी का बना हुआ है। हमने इतना लंबा रास्ता तय किया, आपको एक भी जगह फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर नहीं दिखा होगा प्रियंका, एक भी जगह फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर नहीं है। इस जगह पर 10,000 रुपये से ज़्यादा एंट्री फीस ली जाती है। मैं विजय से कहूँगी एक बार यहाँ पर तस्वीरें दिखाएं, और सिर्फ वीआईपी लोग आते हैं ये कहा जाता है। आईडी चेक नहीं की जाती, इसलिए जो लोग मरे हैं उनमें ज़्यादा 21 और 19 और 20 साल के लोग बच्चे हैं जिनकी मौत हुई है, जो इंजर्ड हैं। अस्पताल में हम जब जा रहे हैं जीएमसी हॉस्पिटल में, तो बच्चे, एक लड़की जो कि 19-20 साल की है, अमूमन 22 प्लस जो होता है 22 प्लस उन्हें अल्कोहल का परमिट होता है और क्लब में एंट्री के लिए 23 और 24 प्लस का परमिट होता है। लेकिन ये क्लब किस तरीके से चल रहा था आप समझिए। 19 साल की लड़की को इन्होंने एंट्री क्यों दी, कैसे दी, किस तरीके से लीगल काम हो रहा था। देखिए आज इस क्लब को डेमोलिश किया जा सकता है। ये क्लब रोमियो लेन जो कि दूसरा ब्रांच है बर्च बाय रोमियो लेन का, लूथरा ब्रदर्स का।
And today, blue corner notice was also issued by the Interpol division to apprehend both Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra. Meanwhile, Goa police have sealed 2 more properties belonging to the Luthra brothers in Goa, and these 2 properties are worth crores of rupees. As the investigation continues, in the coming days, updates on the investigation will be crucial in determining how justice is served to the lost 25 lives. Okay, viewers, moving on to more news that we have been tracking throughout the day. This is a major development in the Delhi blast investigation, that is the 10/11 conspiracy case, where the National Investigation Agency has now launched fresh searches in the forested areas of Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir. These were raids that were carried out this morning, bringing one of the arrested terror doctors, Dr. Adil Radar, accused on the spot for on-ground verification. Now, what is this all about? Essentially, the agencies say this could help uncover critical evidence linked to the entire white-collar jihad terror module. Piecing together the missing links in this entire investigation, take a look. The NIA has intensified its investigation into the Delhi Red Fort blast case. A fresh search operation was launched this morning in Anantnag's Mattan forest belt and neighbouring areas of Kazigund. 2 arrested suspects, Dr. Adil Radar and Jasir Bilal Wani, were brought to the forest to help pinpoint hideouts and potential bomb trial sites. Officials say this step is aimed at retrieving evidence and tracing logistics trails of the terror module.
We have seen a blast at near the Red Fort on 10th of November. In that blast, multiple people lost their lives and many of them got injured, and NIA had taken over the case, and since then multiple raids were conducted. But to today's raids, we have seen the presence of Dr. Adil, who's actually from Kulgam, and meanwhile also Jasir Bilal Wani. As I said, the Jasir's place was raided also by the NIA yesterday late evening, and also the adjoining areas of his residence were also searched late evening yesterday. And today the NIA slot reached here with the 2 main accused, because the court has already extended their remand, and right now the searches were carried in these woods. These are the dense woods of Anantnag.
This dramatic shift to Anantnag comes after investigators discovered that the main accused in the Red Fort blast, terror doctor Umar Nabi, may have tested explosives in the forests of Jammu and Kashmir before executing the car bombing in Delhi, raising the prospect of a preliminary trial run ahead of the attack. The probe has so far exposed a cross-state, white-collar terror network involving medical professionals and other associates allegedly linked to the banned terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed. Arrests in Delhi, NCR, Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir are part of a larger effort to dismantle this covert support chain. The probe escalated after NIA recovered nearly 2,900 kilos of ammonium nitrate, detonators, metal fragments and other bomb-making material from 2 rented flats in Faridabad. The stockpile indicated planning for a major strike across India, triggering a nationwide shakedown of potential sleeper cells. Since then, several Kashmiri origin doctors working in UP and NCR, as well as other suspects, have been detained, questioned or remanded, with the case casting light on what investigators say is a previously underestimated white-collar terror ecosystem. The ongoing forest operation in Anantnag is now viewed as a critical, perhaps missing link. Recoveries here could help reconstruct the last leg of the white terror conspiracy.
And over here in the national capital, viewers, the SIR debate has finally kick-started in Parliament. The SIR of India's voter lists has triggered an unprecedented political firestorm. From allegations of voter deletions to claims of deaths linked to the process, Parliament today witnessed a fierce, chaotic debate with multiple opposition parties coming together accusing the Election Commission of India failing to protect both voters and the officials on ground. The debate was kick-started in Lok Sabha by Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi, to which a sharp retort was issued by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey. The highlights of the SIR debate from Parliament for you.
The opposition has been demanding a debate on SIR in the Parliament. On Tuesday, Congress MP Manish Tiwari opened the debate.
हर चुनाव क्षेत्र में अलग-अलग जो आपको खामियां लगती हैं, उन खामियों को रिकॉर्ड करके इन राइटिंग उसको सार्वजनिक करके फिर आप कर सकते हैं। मैं सरकार से पूछना चाहता हूं कि कहां है वो रीजंस रिकॉर्डेड इन राइटिंग। और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात यह है कि इस बुनियादी प्रश्न के ऊपर कि चुनाव आयोग को SIR कराने का अख्तियार है कि नहीं, ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात है कि अदालत में भी इसकी चर्चा नहीं है।
Hours after he set the stage, the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, took the floor.
Everybody knows how vice chancellors are placed on top of Indian universities today. Every single person knows this. You go to any university, you speak to any youngster in India, he will tell you that it does not matter whether the professor has qualifications, it does not matter whether the professor has a scientific temperament.
Allegations, counter-allegations, and disruptions.
नेता प्रतिपक्ष चुनाव सुधार के लिए जो सुझाव देंगे सुनने के लिए तो हम बैठे हैं, लेकिन चुनाव सुधार को नहीं बोलते हुए कहा जो इस सदन से कोई वास्ता नहीं, जो संगठन उसका कहानी किसी और का बोलना ये कोई उचित नहीं है।
TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee also made serious accusations against the government.
So the question was whether an app will decide who will be my relative. My brother is not my relative, my wife is not my relative. How it can be? If my wife's name is there in 2002, if my name is not there in 2002, then my parents, let's assume my parents died, then I will not be included.
SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav raised concerns in Parliament over death of BLOs engaged in the ongoing SIR of electoral rolls in Uttar Pradesh.
जहां तक SIR की बात है, जो SIR यूपी में चल रही है, अभी तक 10 लोगों की जान जा चुकी है। BLO जो गांव-गांव जाने की और गली-गली जाने के लिए जिनको काम मिला है, उसमें लगभग 10 लोगों की जान जा चुकी है। 9 लोगों की हमारे पास सूची है।
During the debate, Akhilesh Yadav also shifted his concerns towards the use of EVM during the election. His remarks set off a fierce exchange, widening the SIR debate from Bengal to Uttar Pradesh and from voter lists to EVMs. Countering the attacks from the opposition, BJP MP Sanjay Jaiswal accused Congress of vote chori.
इस देश में हिंदू हो, मुसलमान हो, ईसाई हो, सिख हो, जैन हो, बुद्ध हो, सभी का यह देश है, परंतु यह देश बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्याओं का हरगिज नहीं है, और इसलिए हम SIR के बाद भी जो भी बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्या हैं उनको हम जरूर निश्चित तौर पर निकाल के बाहर करेंगे।
While JDU MP Rajiv Ranjan backed the government, saying that the SIR is being carried out by the EC and not the government.
कि चुनाव आयोग एक संवैधानिक संस्था है और संवैधानिक संस्थाओं के कार्यकलाप पर हम यहाँ चर्चा नहीं कर सकते।
As Parliament battles over SIR, As the opposition alleges deaths, deletions, and dacoity, India's voter list revision has escalated into a major national controversy.
It's about the stealing of votes, the discussion.
Viewers, actor-turned-politician Vijay addressed a rally in Puducherry today. This was his first public appearance after the Karur stampede, which took place about 2 months ago. During the rally, he delivered some sharp criticism at both the Tamil Nadu government and the central government, accusing them of essentially failing the people. A massive crowd gathering and sharp jibes at what he calls the opposition at the centre and at the state. Take a look. TVK chief and actor Vijay addressed a large public rally today in Uppalam Expo ground in Puducherry. Addressing a massive crowd, the TVK leader praised the Puducherry administration. He added that for union government, Tamil Nadu is a separate state, Puducherry is another separate union territory, but for him, both are same. Speaking at the event, Vijay stated the contrast between the two governments was stark. He stressed that Puducherry government is different from the DMK government. He emphasized that the union government had not done anything for the state even after 16 resolutions. He also listed a series of grievances from lack of job opportunities and absence of IT investments. Vijay stressed that all these issues need urgent improvement. Adding on to his criticism towards the union government, Vijay said that the centre had repeatedly sidelined Puducherry's aspirations. He took a sharp dig at the DMK and said that people must not believe the DMK as they will cheat them. Speaking about the upcoming elections in the state, actor-turned-politician Vijay said that TVK will stand as an independent party. This was the first time that he addressed supporters outdoors since the Karur tragedy in September, where 41 people lost their lives. Meanwhile, a bit of tension occurred at the rally after a man attempted to enter the venue with a gun. However, security personnel stopped him before entering the public meeting. Later, the police clarified that the man had carried the gun in the name of protection and was not aiming to hurt Vijay. With the union government and DMK in crosshairs, Vijay's TVK will contest independently, focusing on jobs and development to set the stage for a tough Puducherry election battle. And finally, viewers, the Vande Mataram debate continued for a second day today in the Rajya Sabha, in fact. And Union Home Minister Amit Shah opened with his remarks and took a sharp dig at the Congress, echoing essentially what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday. The special discussion on the 150th anniversary of the song was politically timed ahead of the West Bengal Assembly elections. But what exactly did he say and how did the opposition leaders respond to it? Take a look.
Speaking in the upper house, Union Home Minister Amit Shah raised many questions against the opposition. He slammed the opposition over their claim that NDA used Vande Mataram as a discussion topic ahead of West Bengal Assembly elections.
जिनको आज वंदे मातरम की चर्चा क्यों हो रही है वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने नए सिरे से अपनी समझ पर ही सोचने की जरूरत है। कुछ लोगों को इसमें दिखता है कि बंगाल में चुनाव आने वाला है इसलिए वंदे मातरम की चर्चा हो रही है। वो वंदे मातरम के महिमा मंडन को बंगाल के चुनाव के साथ जोड़कर कम करना चाहते हैं।
He also highlighted the political appeasement of Vande Mataram by the opposition when the song completed its 50 years.
तो 150वां साल है। अब हम थोड़ा पीछे मुड़कर देखते हैं मान्यवर, जब वंदे मातरम के 50 साल हुए तब क्या हुआ? वंदे मातरम के 50 साल हुए, देश आजाद नहीं हुआ था और वंदे मातरम की स्वर्ण जयंती हुई 1937 में। तब जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ने वंदे मातरम के 2 टुकड़े कर कर उसको 2 अंतरों तक सीमित करने का काम।
Amit Shah further attacked the opposition, stating that when the song's Golden Jubilee arrived, Jawaharlal Nehru split it into 2 parts. Meanwhile, responding to Amit Shah's remarks, Mallikarjun Kharge started off his speech with Vande Mataram and went on to criticize Amit Shah for accusing Jawaharlal Nehru.
Vande! Vande! Vande!
कि 1937 में नेहरू जी के नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने मूल वंदे मातरम गीत से महत्वपूर्ण पद हटा दिए थे। जब आप मुस्लिम लीग के साथ मिलकर गवर्नमेंट किए, श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी और मुस्लिम लीग मिलके आपने बंगाल में जो गवर्नमेंट की, कहाँ गया था देशभक्ति? कहाँ गया था आपका देशभक्ति?
Amit Shah further stated that suppression of the Vande Mataram started during Indira Gandhi's era.
सबको था कि 100 साल मनाए जाएंगे, 100 साल मनाए जाएंगे, मगर 100 साल हुआ तब वंदे मातरम का महिमा मंडन का सवाल ही नहीं था, क्योंकि वंदे मातरम बोलने वाले जो सारे लोग थे उनको इंदिरा जी ने जेल में बंद कर दिया। इस देश में आपातकाल लगाया गया, आपातकाल लगाया गया। विपक्ष के लाखों लोगों को, लाखों समाज सेवियों को, स्वयंसेवी संगठन के लोगों को जेल में भर दिया गया। कोई कारण के बगैर अखबारों पर ताले लगा दिए गए, यहाँ तक कि आकाशवाणी उस वक्त एक ही माध्यम था, आकाशवाणी में किशोर कुमार की आवाज ही नहीं आती थी, ड्यूएट गाने भी लता जी की आवाज में ही आते थे।
Adding on, he alleged that several indie bloc leaders had historically refused to sing Vande Mataram and walked out of the Lok Sabha when the song was sung.
साहब, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी की स्थिति देखिए, जिस कांग्रेस पार्टी के अधिवेशनों की शुरुआत गुरुवर टैगोर जैसे लोग वंदे मातरम गा कर कराते थे। वंदे मातरम कांग्रेस पार्टी के आजादी के आंदोलन का एक मंत्र बना था। वो वंदे मातरम के महिमा मंडन करने के लिए जब लोकसभा में चर्चा हुई, गांधी परिवार के दोनों सदस्य नदारद थे, दो में से एक भी।
All right, viewers, that's all that we had for you in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. But do stay on with us. More news and updates coming right up. Thanks for watching.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूम देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी, MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सब करा।
first image of fugitive Gaurav Luthra, the owner of Birch Club, surfaces from Thailand. A blue corner notice has now been issued against him. Birch Brothers Dubai link surfaces. Sources say they returned just 4 days before Goa nightclub fire. Agencies fear after Phuket the fugitives might flee to Dubai.
We are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies.
Republic report on duopoly and monopoly becomes the #1 headline as Aviation Minister takes on nearly 500 Indigo flights cancelled today. Centre cuts airlines routes by 5%. Anil Ambani's son Jay Anmol named in the 228 crore rupees banking. Nearly 500 Indigo flights cancelled today. Centre cuts airlines routes by 5%. The Luthra brothers are on the run. A blue corner notice has already been issued by the Interpol, which effectively means that the Luthra brothers, if at all they are in Thailand, then it is incumbent on the authorities in Thailand to inform India about their presence. In fact, the FIR copy in the Goa fire case has now been accessed, in which they have been named as the main accused. Gaurav Luthra and Saurabh Luthra have been mentioned. The FIR details how the fire show was organized without fire safety equipment, and there was no fire audit was basically conducted earlier. Now, what we are picking up from the FIR that has been registered, in which Luthra brothers have been named as the main accused, Gaurav Luthra and Saurabh Luthra, Goa police still maintains that they've taken a swift action. By swift action, they essentially mean that the LOC was issued after Gautam as well as Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra had escaped from India. In fact, this was hours after the fire broke out. It appears that the Luthra brothers had planned to leave the country. They took the 5:30 morning flight from Delhi to Phuket, which is an Indigo flight, a direct flight to Phuket. As of now, there is no confirmation as to whether at all Thailand authorities have communicated to the Central Bureau of Investigation about being able to locate Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, who are currently in Phuket, as we understand. In the FIR, questions are also being raised about how this entire fire show was organized without any fire safety equipment in that place. In fact, no fire audit was also conducted either. Now, these are some of the details that are basically emerging from the FIR that has been registered by the Goa police. In terms of the action that has been taken so far, a manager has already been taken into custody by the Goa police. This is after a joint operation that was done by the Delhi police as well as Goa police. But several questions being raised as to why did it take so much time for the Goa police to first of all issue an LOC, a lookout notice. Had the lookout notice been issued in time, then perhaps the Luthra brothers could not have escaped from India, because the authorities, which include the airport authorities, would have already been informed about the case that has been registered against them. And we'll try and see if we can go across to our reporters on the ground, Swarali, who's getting us the latest details. But since we'll try and get you in a short while from that, the details that we have. Just a quick recap before we move on to the other big story. In fact, this is the latest that has come in from the Goa fire tragedy. Shifting focus now to the other story that we are getting to you. This is a significant escalation of legal troubles for the Ambani family, where Jay Anmol Ambani, the elder son of Anil, has been booked by the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is in the alleged 228 crore rupees bank fraud case involving Reliance Home Finance Limited. The 35-year-old who was appointed as the executive director of RHFL in 2016 as part of his father's succession plans faces charges alongside co-director Ravindra Sharad Sudhakar for cheating Union Bank of India, formerly the Andhra Bank, through fund diversion, account manipulation and misappropriation of a 450 crore rupees credit facility that was meant for business operations. In fact, in one single day, 2 cases have been registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation. One it is against RHFL and the other happens to be against Reliance Communications. My colleague Meenakshi has reported from outside Jai Anil Ambani's residence where the searches are being carried out. 2 searches have been carried out in the RHFL case, and another 2 places where the searches are being carried out is in Pune.
We are outside Anil Ambani's scarf-padded home in Mumbai, and here CBI officials carried out searches earlier today. This action comes after CBI booked Anil Ambani's son Jai Anmol Anil Ambani and Reliance Finance Home Limited in a case that alleged cheating and loss of over 200 crore. And you can see now this is Anil Ambani's house, and it's a significant escalation in this moment that CBI officials were inside for several hours gathering documents and digital evidence linked to the alleged loan irregularities. And according to the FIR, Union Bank of India has accused Reliance Home Finance of diverting funds, misrepresenting financial statements and failing to repay loans, leading to substantial losses to the public sector bank. This is Anil Ambani's house, and here we tried for a reaction from Anil Ambani's staffs, but they are not saying anything. Neither the Ambani family nor Reliance Home Finance has issued an official statement till now. We are also told that CBI may summon key individuals for questioning in the coming days in this case. But these searches mark a significant escalation in the investigation, and travel mounts for Anil Ambani and his family, and now Anil Ambani's son Jai Anmol Anil Ambani is booked in the fraud case.
Well, in fact, let me just quickly take you through some of the details that we have accessed. The FIR copy that has been registered against Anil Ambani's son, Jai Anil Ambani. In fact, this is the first case to have been registered against Anil Ambani's son, where the erstwhile directors and promoters have been named, which includes Jai Anil Ambani. And the allegation that the Central Bureau of Investigation has leveled on the basis of a complaint that was filed by the Union Bank is that the company had essentially taken loans. And the loan runs into thousands of crores. In fact, I'm going to just give you the specifics of the case that we have right now in terms of what action has been taken. This is what the Central Bureau of Investigation has found out from the preliminary investigation that was carried out, where they say that Reliance Home Finance Limited was basically availing loans to the tune of 5,572 crore rupees from about 18 banks and NBFCs. And in that case, were 2 places where the searches have been carried out, and it turns out that they were unable to give any sort of guarantee. Well, shifting focus now to the other big breaking news now coming in. Home Minister Amit Shah has written a letter to the Rajya Sabha chairman where he's essentially saying that it's the unacceptable behavior of some MPs in the name of Vande Mataram. The Home Minister referred these MPs' statements to the Rajya Sabha chairman and provided him with the relevant facts. This was during the Vande Mataram debate that took place. In fact, 10 hours have essentially been allotted for the discussion on Vande Mataram. In fact, the Vande Mataram debate in the Rajya Sabha continued for the second day today in Rajya Sabha, and Union Home Minister Amit Shah pushed back opposition's claims that the special discussion on the 150th anniversary of the song was politically timed ahead of the West Bengal Assembly elections. But what exactly did he say? And how did the opposition leaders really respond to it? Let's take a closer look.
Speaking in the upper house, Union Home Minister Amit Shah raised many questions against the opposition. He slammed the opposition over their claim that NDA used Vande Mataram as a discussion topic ahead of West Bengal Assembly elections.
जिनको आज वंदे मातरम की चर्चा क्यों हो रही है वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने नए सिरे से अपनी समझ पर ही सोचने की जरूरत है। कुछ लोगों को इसमें दिखता है कि बंगाल में चुनाव आने वाला है इसलिए वंदे मातरम की चर्चा हो रही है। वो वंदे मातरम के महिमा मंडन को बंगाल के चुनाव के साथ जोड़कर कम करना चाहते हैं।
He also highlighted the political appeasement of Vande Mataram by the opposition when the song completed its 50 years.
तो 150वां साल है। अब हम थोड़ा पीछे मुड़कर देखते हैं मान्यवर, जब वंदे मातरम के 50 साल हुए तब क्या हुआ? वंदे मातरम के 50 साल हुए, देश आजाद नहीं हुआ था और वंदे मातरम की स्वर्ण जयंती हुई 1937 में। तब जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ने वंदे मातरम के 2 टुकड़े कर उसको 2 अंतरों तक सीमित करने का काम किया।
Amit Shah further attacked the opposition, stating that when the song's Golden Jubilee arrived, Jawaharlal Nehru split it into 2 parts. Meanwhile, responding to Amit Shah's remarks, Mallikarjun Kharge started off his speech with Vande Mataram and went on to criticize Amit Shah for accusing Jawaharlal Nehru.
Vande! 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 कि 1937 में नेहरू जी के नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने मूल वंदे मातरम गीत से महत्वपूर्ण पद हटा दिए थे। जब आप मुस्लिम लीग के साथ मिलकर गवर्नमेंट किए, श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी और मुस्लिम लीग मिलकर आपने बंगाल में जो गवर्नमेंट की, कहाँ गया था देशभक्ति? कहाँ गया था आपका देशभक्ति?
Amit Shah further stated that suppression of the Vande Mataram started during Indira Gandhi's era.
सबको था कि 100 साल मनाए जाएंगे, मगर 100 साल हुआ तब वंदे मातरम का महिमा मंडन का सवाल ही नहीं था, क्योंकि वंदे मातरम बोलने वाले जो सारे लोग थे उनको इंदिरा जी ने जेल में बंद कर दिया। इस देश में आपातकाल लगाया गया, आपातकाल लगाया गया। विपक्ष के लाखों लोगों को, लाखों समाज सेवियों को, स्वयंसेवी संगठन के लोगों को जेल में भर दिया गया। कोई कारण के बगैर अखबारों पर ताले लगा दिए गए, यहां तक कि आकाशवाणी उस वक्त एक ही माध्यम था, आकाशवाणी में किशोर कुमार की आवाज ही नहीं आती थी, ड्यूएट गाने भी लता जी की आवाज में ही आते थे।
Adding on, he alleged that several indie bloc leaders had historically refused to sing Vande Mataram and walked out of the Lok Sabha when the song was sung.
साहब, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी की स्थिति देखिए। जिस कांग्रेस पार्टी के अधिवेशनों की शुरुआत गुरुवर टागोर जैसे लोग वंदे मातरम गा कर कराते थे। वंदे मातरम कांग्रेस पार्टी के आजादी के आंदोलन का एक मंत्र बना था। वो वंदे मातरम के महिमा मंडन करने के लिए जब लोकसभा में चर्चा हुई, गांधी परिवार के दोनों सदस्य नदारद थे, दो में से एक भी। वंदे मातरम का विरोध आज भी जवाहरलाल नेहरू से लेकर आज के कांग्रेस के नेतृत्व तक कांग्रेस के खून के अंदर था।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah also recounted the BJP's push in reviving the tradition of the song.
महोदय, 1992 में भाजपा सांसद श्री राम नाईक ने एक शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन डिस्कशन के माध्यम से वंदे मातरम को संसद में फिर से गाने की शुरुआत करने के लिए एक मुद्दा उठाया और उस वक्त प्रतिपक्ष के नेता लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी ने बहुत प्रमुखता के साथ लोकसभा के स्पीकर को कहा कि इस महान सदन के अंदर वंदे मातरम का गान होना चाहिए, क्योंकि संविधान सभा ने इसको स्वीकारा है। और फिर लोकसभा ने सर्वानुमत से 1992 में वंदे मातरम के गान की शुरुआत की।
However, Abu Azmi criticized the government over the Vande Mataram debate and ignoring some important decisions.
देखिए चर्चा तो करो डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर ना, चर्चा करो देश कर्ज में डूबता जा रहा है, चर्चा करो कि देश में सांप्रदायिकता खत्म होना चाहिए। ये सिर्फ हिंदू मुस्लिम करके सरकार चला रही है, कोई विरोध नहीं करता। करो ना, कौन मना कर रहा है? बड़ा वंदे मातरम रोज चिल्लाओ, कौन मना करता है? लेकिन ये किसी के धर्म में इंटरफेयर करना बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है।
The Vande Mataram debate has brought history, politics and national sentiment into sharp focus. As the discussion continues, it remains to be seen whether the debate will influence political narratives ahead of upcoming elections.
Well, in fact, a confirmation now coming in that Microsoft has committed their largest ever investment in Asia in India, over 1.5 lakh crore rupees. In fact, Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella has tweeted, and I quote, "Thank you, Prime Minister, for an inspiring conversation on India's AI opportunity to support the country's ambitions. Microsoft is committing $17.5 billion US, our largest investment ever in Asia, to help build the infrastructure, skills and sovereign capabilities needed for India's AI-first future." Let me go across to Pranav, who's joining us on this broadcast. Pranav, undoubtedly the biggest announcement that has been made. In fact, a lot has been being worked out by Microsoft in terms of improving their data centers. What are we to really expect in terms of the investment that is going to be made here in India?
Well, Shawan, in fact, this is a huge announcement. I mean, a 17.5 billion, that's about 1.5 lakh crore investment in India. And it's important to note that he is talking about investing in India's AI first future. What makes it more important is the fact that this just comes months after another tech giant made a huge announcement that's investing about 15 billion USD over the next 5 years. That's Google, who in October announced that it will be investing $15 billion in India, again, on India's AI future. So we are just seeing yet another big tech giant, a global tech giant, betting big on India, betting big on tech in India, betting big on AI in India.
Well, in fact, there is also a response that was given by Satya Nadella in an interview to a Western media organization with regards to the expansion of particularly data centers. Anything more that you're picking up, Pranav, in terms of what perhaps would be the roadmap for Microsoft in Asia?
Well, Microsoft is in fact, unveiling its bigger plans for India. If you remember, a bigger facility is already underway, which is necessarily on the lines of a GCC, a global capacity center that is coming up. But what we need to wait and watch is how this investment actually unveils. I mean, given that Google has made an announcement of $15 billion over a period of 5 years, we need to see how Microsoft is actually going about investing these $17 billion or 1.5 lakh crore. In what form, in what facility and over what period, we probably just need to wait and watch and see how it unveils.
Thank you very much, Pranav, for getting us the latest, the biggest ever investment coming in from Microsoft in Asia. Shifting focus to the other story that we have been tracking through the day. The Director General of Civil Aviation has slashed Indigo's flight schedules by 5%, eliminating around 115 daily flights from its 2,300 strong operation in a bid to curb widespread disruptions that have been triggered by crew shortages and the airline's inadequate readiness for new pilot fatigue rules that have been effective from 1st of November. Meanwhile, All India Pilots Association has fiercely criticized the DGCA's decision to grant Indigo a temporary exemption from stricter night duty rules under Phase 2 of the flight duty time limitation norms, labeling it as a selective and unsafe move that sets a dangerous precedent for aviation safety. In fact, on your screens, we're just putting out the route operation, and which clearly goes on to indicate how Indigo has had complete monopoly. For instance, of the 950 routes where they're operating. At least at 600 routes, there is complete monopoly of Indigo itself. We're talking about a total of 1,200 domestic routes that exist in India. The rest of it is largely operated by Air India, which would be roughly about 26%, effectively meaning that there is a duopoly that exists in the aviation sector in India. In fact, this is the exact very thing that has now been highlighted by the aviation minister on the floor of the parliament, where they are now saying that the government understands the need for a new airline to come into the picture. And that is what we have picked up right now. In fact, some measures have been taken by the Civil Aviation Ministry by putting the joint secretaries to look into some of the concerns that have been raised by the passengers and, more importantly, the ramification of the chaos that we have witnessed over the last few days. My colleague Meenakshi had spoken to Joint Secretary of the Civil Aviation. This is what he had to say.
All situation will be normalized.
That's what I told you, it will take time. Right now we are in investigations. We have to understand the exact problem, where it has happened. Then after that we'll fix the issue.
Passengers are now still struggling.
No, passengers' comfort is the first priority. That's the reason I told 6 hours before we are cancelling it. Passengers, we are not allowing them to come to airport. So that itself a big relief for them.
All situation will be normalized.
That's what I told you, it will take time. Right now we are in investigations. We have to understand the exact problem, where it has happened. Then after that we'll fix the issue.
Passengers are now still struggling.
No, passengers' comfort is the first priority. That's the reason I told 6 hours before we are cancelling it. Passengers, we are not allowing them to come to airport. So that itself a big relief for them.
Minister Rammohan Naidu has told the parliament that no airline, however big they are, will be allowed to get away with causing hardship to passengers. This is what the aviation minister had to tell the parliament.
Through our policies, we are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies. More airlines mean more choice, more affordability and more resilience for the passengers.
Maharashtra opposition staged a protest against the authorities in Nagpur, taking on the government on the issue of farmers' suicide in the state. Opposition members alleged that the government was taking no steps to basically address the issues of the farmers in the state. Here's a quick report.
The second day of Maharashtra winter session began with opposition protesting against the Maha Vikas Aghadi government. With placards in hands, opposition staged a protest on the steps of the Vidhan Bhavan in Nagpur. The opposition alleged that 8 farmers are committing suicide in Maharashtra every day, but the government is only making announcements and no actual steps are being taken.
सरकार जो है किसान विरोधी है, तो मेरा ये पुरानी मांगनी में किया है, तो मेरा ये कहना है कि ये सरकार का दिवाला निकला हुआ है और ये सरकार किसानों को गुमराह कर रही है.
Well, coming up, this is exclusive with my colleague Niranjan.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार. क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आरपोर मसाला. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Arpora शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Arpora शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
भाई मेरा बेटी को प्यार चाहिए, मेरा बेटी का ब्लड आ रहा, ब्लड नीचे से ब्लड आ रहा, प्यार चाहिए, दे दो। क्यों नहीं करता? क्यों नहीं?
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Arpora सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा Arpora मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
from Asia's largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us on This Is Exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, Siddharth Luthra, Gaurav Luthra are in Phuket. They're the owners of the nightclub where 25 lives were lost. And a system that allowed them to operate, get licenses. In fact, they didn't have licenses. But they still got documents to keep that club running. And in a club where 25 people died, as of this minute, nobody knows where they are. All we know is that they fled India 6 hours after the fire. We have some breaking news updates on that story as we investigate further. That in the Indigo monopoly story on the show tonight. Here are the headlines. They're all waking up after 25 lives are lost. Corruption has killed 25. But the optics begin in Goa. Bulldozer action too little too late. First photo of one of the brothers who fled India. The first photo on landing in Phuket. Agencies ask Interpol help to ensure that they don't flee Phuket now. Getting in details of the club owners, the Luthra brothers fleeing perhaps to Mumbai. Is that on their radar given they have a residence in Dubai? Agencies on alert.
We are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies.
Republic forces the government. The government forced to talk about duopoly after Republic reported it, after Republic debated it. Republic's report on the monopolies and duopolies in Indian markets becomes the #1 talking point across the country. It reaches the parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, the tragic fire at a Goa nightclub. It's a man-made disaster. Man-made disaster that ensured 25 lives were lost. One of the deadliest fire incidents the state of Goa has seen. The Luthra brothers, the owners of the Birch by Romeo, the club where 25 people died, have left the country for Thailand. And Republic broke the story last night, saying they escaped 6 hours after the fire. They're currently on the run. After the Goa Chief Minister, who has, by the way, woken up after 25 lives are lost, bulldozers have begun to roll in Goa. Too little, too late, because the state government has suddenly realized that the entire focus is on them and how corruption killed 25 people. Many other clubs are now coming under the scanner, and they're beginning to demolish these illegal clubs. And we found out during the investigation that this particular club was first demolished in July, but was later reconstructed. As more updates come in, authorities have also ramped up investigations. We're getting in more details of the passport. The Goa police has issued a notice to the Luthra brothers as their entire business empire now comes under the scanner.
In fact, there is also a government, it's not the Goa police, but there's a small correction. The central government has issued a notice to the Luthra brothers, and they've been given 7 days. 7 days time to reply. I'll go across to Swarali, joining us with the details. Swarali, 7 days given. Can you take us through what this particular letter says?
Yes, according to the major update in this entire story, we have been tracking since last 3 days. Let me tell you, in this written letter has been given by the government of India to Luthra brothers as they are fled the scene wherein 25 people have lost their life. And another breaking update right now is that the Goa police has written a letter to Ministry of External Affairs to cancel the passports of Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, the Luthra brothers, and the passport office has also issued a notice. On the other hand, Ministry of External Affairs has replied to Goa police saying that revocation process of passports of the Luthra brothers is in process. This is a major update in this entire case. Right now we're standing outside the Romeo Lane club, the nightclub which was demolished right now by the Goa authorities. As we all know already that they have fled the scene on the morning of 7 December 5:30 a.m. and a lookout notice was generated by Goa police in the evening, and post that Interpol had given out blue corner notice, which means all the information will be gathered regarding their whereabouts. And now, according to very recent update, they are asked, the letter has been sent to Luthra brothers, who are the allegedly major perpetrator of this entire event. They're the owner of Romeo Lane Birch nightclub in the Arpora region, wherein 25 people have lost their lives in this fire incident. On the other hand, a major crackdown is happening on the government officers. Already 3 are suspended. The former Secretary of Pollution Control Board, Director and Secretary of Panchayat, and in a fray are other government officers, and the suspension can go on. On the other hand, there are several such nightclubs, restaurants, bars which are under scrutiny right now, and a major crackdown can happen in the state of Goa because opposition parties as well as the MLA from the BJP itself, Michael Lobo, when we tried to interact with him, he has said that according to his data, allegedly 50% of nightclubs might not have fire NOC, which is an alarming percentage which has been claimed by the BJP MLA himself, and that's why audit has been ordered. On the other hand, magisterial probe result should be out soon. That's the kind of input and update we are tracking on the story. Back to you.
The Luthra brothers have been given 7 days time to respond. 7 days from by the MEA, which has written letters. We have a copy of the letter. 7 days time given by the MEA, and they've been asked to respond why their passports should not be impounded. This is after the Goa police asked the MEA to move and revoke the passports of both the brothers Saurabh and Gaurav, both of whom are currently in Phuket and fled India 6 hours after the fire. Now, this is the big breaking news update, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, from Phuket, I'm moving across to the second angle. The second angle is the brothers Saurabh and Gaurav, accused in the Goa nightclub fire, reportedly have a Dubai connection. They own a home in Dubai where a few family members are currently residing. Interestingly, we are also hearing that they returned from Dubai just 4 days before the fire broke out at their club in Goa. So they were in Dubai, they came back, and investigating agencies now believe that this may have been a strategic move as they allegedly fled to Phuket, Thailand, via the Delhi airport. They may be moving to Dubai. Now, agencies suspect that they may be moving to Dubai from Phuket, and they have approached the Interpol. Agencies have approached Interpol to try and stop them in Phuket. Agencies fear that their hideout could eventually be Dubai. We have a report from Phuket. Vijay Tiwari, correspondent, sending us this report from Phuket.
दोस्तों नमस्कार, मैं विजय तिवारी फुकेट से ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूं। आपको पता चला होगा कि गोवा में नाइट क्लब में आग लगी थी, जिसमें हमारे 25 लोगों की जान चली गई। बहुत ही दुखद घटना सुनने में आया, और इसके बाद से ये पता चला कि जो गोवा क्लब के ऑनर थे, 2 सौरभ और गौरव लुथरा, वो दोनों उसी नाइट नेक्स्ट डे मॉर्निंग फ्लाइट करके भग के थाईलैंड चले आए। थाईलैंड से वो फुकेट में आ चुके हैं। मैं अभी फुकेट ग्राउंड पातोंग बीच पातोंग से बोल रहा हूँ और हमारी इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने अभी थाई सीबीआई टीम से बात कर रही है, उनकी डिटेल निकाल रही है कि ये लोग भक्के फुकेट में कहाँ छुपे हुए हैं, किस रिसोर्ट में या किस आइलैंड पे रुके हुए हैं। तो हम जल्दी ही उसका अपडेट आप लोगों को बताएंगे। यहाँ की पुलिस चेक कर रही है, जैसे कुछ भी अपडेट होता है 1-2 दिन के अंदर तो मैं आपको इसकी पूरी रिपोर्ट जानकारी देता हूँ। नमस्कार, विजय तिवारी, फुकेट, थाईलैंड। दोस्तों नमस्कार, मैं विजय तिवारी फुकेट से ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ। आपको पता चला होगा कि गोवा में नाइट क्लब में आग लगी थी, जिसमें हमारे 25 लोगों की जान चली गई। बहुत ही दुखद घटना सुनने में आया और इसके बाद से ये पता चला कि जो गोवा क्लब के ऑनर थे 2, सौरभ और गौरव लुथरा, वो दोनों उसी नाइट नेक्स्ट डे मॉर्निंग फ्लाइट करके भग के थाईलैंड चले आए। थाईलैंड से वो फुकेट में आ चुके हैं। मैं अभी फुकेट ग्राउंड पातोंग बीच पातोंग से बोल रहा हूँ और हमारी इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने अभी थाई सीबीआई टीम से बात कर रही है, उनकी डिटेल निकाल रही है कि ये लोग भक्के फुकेट में कहाँ छुपे हुए हैं, किस रिसोर्ट में या किस आइलैंड पे रुके हुए हैं। तो हम जल्दी ही उसका अपडेट आप लोगों को बताएंगे। यहाँ की पुलिस चेक कर रही है, जैसे कुछ भी अपडेट होता है 1-2 दिन के अंदर तो मैं आपको इसकी पूरी रिपोर्ट जानकारी देता हूँ। नमस्कार, विजय तिवारी, फुकेट, थाईलैंड। दोस्तों नमस्कार, मैं विजय तिवारी।
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a breaking news update coming in. Pictures of the Indigo CEO, also the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Breaking news pictures coming in on the show right now. The Indigo CEO, Peter Elbers, is at the Ministry of Civil Aviation. And we are getting in more details of the ministry, that is the Civil Aviation Ministry, deciding to curtail 10% of routes. 10% of routes will be cut. We have a picture coming in. The ministry, the Civil Aviation Ministry, has said it considers necessary to curtail the overall Indigo routes, which will help in stabilizing the airline's operations and lead to reduced cancellations. A curtailment of 10% has been ordered. Curtailment of 10% has been ordered, and while abiding by it, Indigo will continue to cover its destinations as before. This is a big setback, huge setback to Indigo. During the last week, the minister has tweeted saying during the last week, many passengers faced severe inconvenience due to Indigo's internal mismanagement of crew rosters, flight schedules, inadequate communication. And while the inquiry and necessary actions were underway, another meeting with Indigo's top management was held to review the stabilization measures. And today again, Indigo CEO Peter Elbers was summoned to the ministry to provide an update. The minister is saying that Peter Elbers, the Indigo CEO, has confirmed that 100% of the refunds for flights affected till 6th December have been completed. The ministry considers it necessary to curtail the overall Indigo routes, which will help in stabilizing airlines' operations and lead to reduced cancellations. 10% of all routes have been curtailed. And while abiding by it, the minister says Indigo will continue to cover all its destinations as before. Indigo has been instructed to comply with all the directives of the ministry, including fare capping and passenger convenience measures, without any exception. This is a big breaking news update coming in. 10% of Indigo routes have been curtailed by the government following that meeting. There's a picture of the minister meeting the Indigo CEO. That's the picture on your screen right now, where Indigo CEO Peter Elbers is seen meeting the Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu. Chandrakala is joining me live. Chandrakala is joining me live. Is that meeting still on? Chandrakala, is that meeting still on? Do we have any more details of the outcome of that meeting?
Well, the meeting has concluded, but the fact that, of course, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has today called in an emergency review meeting wherein the representative from Indigo, of course, the CEO of Indigo was summoned to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. We have just seen a statement being put out by the Minister of Civil Aviation, Ram Mohan Naidu, where he has given a detailed information as far as what was the outcome of the meeting. What we are learning is that the CEO of Indigo, Peter Elbers, was summoned to the ministry to provide an update. He confirmed that 100% of the refunds for flights attached 6 December have been completed. In fact, a strict instruction was also given to expedite the completion of the remaining funds and baggage handover was given. The fact that the minister himself has tweeted that many passengers have faced severe inconvenience as far as the Indigo's internal mismanagement is concerned. We have seen him earlier giving a detailed information regarding the entire crisis in the Parliament, where he has warned Indigo of strict actions. We have seen the Indigo CEO coming out with an apology as far as this entire situation is concerned. And today he was being summoned in the Ministry of Civil Aviation to give a detail as to what kind of steps has been taken to mitigate this entire issues. Now, I'll give a detail as to what was a statement being put out by the Minister of Civil Aviation. The ministry considers it necessary to curtail the overall Indigo routes, which will help in stabilizing the airline's operations and lead to reduced cancellations. A curtailment of 10%, let me repeat, a curtailment of 10% has been ordered. While abiding with it, Indigo will continue to cover all its destinations as before. Now, we have seen that more and more flights still remain cancelled across major cities today, and this meeting was called in. An emergency review meeting was called by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, where not only Indigo but other airline operators, of course, Air India and SpiceJet were also present. Where there were few key takeaways from the meeting, wherein it was discussed that they should ensure safety and security of the passengers, and the fact that one of the most important key takeaways was that this entire issue will be taken into consideration, and after January 7 and 8 this issue will be sorted out completely. But meanwhile, yes, Indigo has been instructed with all the Ministry of Civil Aviation has instructed Indigo and other airline operators to as far as the airfare cap is also concerned. And now the Indigo CEO was also summoned here, and
stay with me, Charakala. I want to play out what the minister said in Parliament. For the last few days, ladies and gentlemen, we here at Republic TV have been talking about how monopoly and duopoly in different markets, and this specific instance is about the duopoly in the aviation market and what it's come down to. And the aviation mess, we've been saying, is a manifestation of that, because one airline had a duopoly along with Air India, and they controlled jointly 91% of the market, and it's all come down to this. And today, the minister, and after we raised this point, and Arnab has been debating it, our editor-in-chief has raised it on the debate, on the dangers of duopoly, and finally the government today forced to take up the issue in Parliament and admit that yes, there was a duopoly and there is a threat from duopoly. I have the minister's soundbite, but we have Captain Ajay Helawat also joining us. Captain Helawat, before I play out what the minister said while admitting the duopoly in the aviation market, I'd like to get your response. 10% of all Indigo routes have been curtailed. Is that enough?
Actually, if you look at what has been curtailed, it's a word play, because Indigo typically was operating 14,000 flights every week. And for the winter schedule, they increased it to about 15,000. So the reduction is from the 15,000, and that reduction is essentially something they were unable to operate. This is not really a punishment. This is more like, okay, you could not fly these routes, so we're taking away these routes. The minor element of punishment, the whole thing, is they've asked Indigo to identify the routes on which they have more than one flight and they're high demand sector, and curtail some flights from there. In my opinion, this is just an eyewash.
Eyewash, okay. Interesting. Thank you for that, Group Captain Ajay Helawat. I'd like to... Okay. Venkateshwar Rao is also joining us on the phone line, aviation expert. Mr. Rao, 10% of Indigo routes curtailed. We just had Group Captain Ajay Helawat who called it wordplay and just an eyewash. In your view, what does this mean, the 10% curtailment?
This is a total sham. The government and the DGCA are behaving like the ostrich with its head in the sand. They are not looking at the ground realities. As Captain Helawat said, 10% of the routes makes no difference. They should have said that on all sectors, you will only operate one flight. I can understand till the clearing of the passengers that are stuck everywhere, you let them allow multiple flights. After this, you will strictly adhere to the car as directed by the High Court. And we will not give you any dispensation. You forget February. February is too late. In fact, I'm surprised the government has not filed criminal charges against the management of Indigo. Because this is nothing but endangering life, which is a cognizable criminal offense. The DGC officers are also involved and the Indigo officers are also involved. And they need to see, they may remove the CEO tomorrow. He'll go back to his country, live happily ever after. But we have to see that he doesn't leave for what he has done. So if you don't want him to leave, you have to file an FIR against him immediately. But that is not being done by the government. The steps taken by the government are too late.
Yeah.
This is only a cover-up. Nothing. Actually, Indigo will not have any loss if this 10% flights are curtailed. In fact, they should have just suspended the license of this airline, which they haven't done so far.
Yeah, this is a very interesting situation.
Everybody's playing a cat and mouse game here.
Yeah, maybe too many lobbies involved, Mr. Rao, and complicit people who within the DGC also may have approved. And it's interesting how such people continue to remain, and maybe some of them are also investigating the entire mess, which of course in itself is a joke. Thank you, sir, for speaking to Republic TV. I'd like to play out what the minister said. Ram Mohan Naidu, Civil Aviation Minister in Parliament, forced to admit today that yes, there is a duopoly and they're trying to fight the threat of duopoly. Listen in.
Through our policies, we are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies. More airlines mean more choice, more affordability and more resilience for the passengers. Through our policies, we are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies. More airlines mean more choice, more affordability and more resilience for the passengers.
So Chandrakala, are we expecting more action perhaps, or is this it?
Of course, since this emergency meeting has been called by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, now more and more meetings. There might be more meetings scheduled in coming few days, given the situation. Because although this was a monthly review meeting, but of course, given the situation, this entire Indigo crisis was very much on the agenda. And of course, the Indigo CEO, who was also summoned in the ministry, and he has given this detailed information, and also regarding the curtailing of routes. So yes, more meetings are expected given the situation, because the fact that this entire situation is expected to get sorted only after 7th or 8th January. So we'll have to wait and watch as to if more and more meetings will be lined up in coming few days, given the situation.
Okay, thank you for that. We have to leave it at that. We have some more details and facts of the different routes, the clearances that were given for the extra routes, and before that, the monopoly-duopoly debate, which has been our focus for the last few days. Of the 1,200 domestic routes in India, currently Indigo routes are about 950. They operate in about 950 routes across India of the 1,200. And they have a complete monopoly in 600 of the routes. 600, half of India's domestic routes, they have a complete monopoly. And they have a duopoly along with Air India in about 200 routes. So just them and Air India in about 200 routes. And that's the situation today in Indian aviation. That's the current mess that we are questioning. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break. And at 8 p.m., Arnab looks at the subject in great detail. Is the aviation mess that we've seen in the last 1 week just a manifestation of the monopoly debate in India? And is there a larger need of looking at monopolies in different sectors in Indian industry? That's our focus at 8 p.m. and at 9 p.m., the Luthra brothers. And how corruption killed 25 and the killers have fled India. That's coming up on the debate. Thanks for watching. Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
राजा और मसाला मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Arpora सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आरपोरा मसाला।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
राजा और मसाला
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
From your smartphones to your smart television, trending stories are breaking the internet. On the top, Hardik Pandya is not happy with the paparazzi, and he has made it abundantly clear. He has slammed them for overstepping boundaries while capturing intrusive shots of his girlfriend. A reminder that life in the spotlight comes with its challenges, but even stars have their limits. Meanwhile, the Ashes are delivering laughs off the field as Matthew Hayden's bold pre-series bet sparked a viral reaction from his daughter Grace. And across the ocean, a MAGA favorite is in full meltdown mode, and social media cannot look away. Tim Pool goes on a furious tirade calling his own side in a fiery, expletive-filled live stream that has got everyone talking. We have this and a lot more lined up in this power-packed bulletin. I'm Antara and this is Trending. Indian cricket team all-rounder Hardik Pandya expressed his anger on social media after seeing paparazzi cross the line while taking pictures and videos of his girlfriend, Mihika Sharma. Now, in a powerful statement, Hardik hit out at the paps for what he described as disrespectful and intrusive photography of his partner. The India all-rounder, whose relationship with Mihika has been under intense public scrutiny, also acknowledged that living in the public eye comes with attention, stating, "It's part of the life I've chosen." However, he did assert that a recent incident crossed all lines. Now, a viral video showed his girlfriend in an inappropriate angle. Hardik Pandya stepped in, asking the media to show some dignity, not drama. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly play out the cricketer's latest Insta story where he has expressed genuine disappointment over his unfortunate moment. On your screens is the post. Hardik Pandya stated, in a very measured tone, if I might add, saying that living in the public eye comes with its own pros and cons. It's part of a deal, basically. But he added that there still has to be some sort of line between going full clickbait culture and simply photographing people, and he is completely justified in this case. Social media users are now on fire, with users slamming the paps for clicking Mihika Sharma from that questionable angle. Let me show you some of these comments, and trust me, netizens are not holding back. The outrage, ladies and gentlemen, is only growing. People are calling the shot invasive and unacceptable. Now, former Aussie star Matthew Hayden's wild promise that he'd walk naked around the Melbourne cricket ground if Joe Root failed to score a century in Australia this Ashes has triggered a hilarious reaction from his daughter Grace Hayden. Right after Root smashed that much-awaited taunt, Grace took to Instagram to post a cheeky message. "Root, thank you, you've saved all our lives." That single post caught fire online, and suddenly it wasn't just a story, it was social media gold. Now, ahead of Ashes 2025-26 tour, Matthew Hayden, who is known for his bold style and a sense of humor, made perhaps the most memorable pre-series bet in the recent memory. On a podcast, he declared, "I will walk naked around MCG if Joe Root does not make 100 this summer." Needless to say, the comment immediately went viral. It wasn't just about trash talk or rivalry. It added that hilarious twist to the tension around Root's century drought in Australia. Now, fans and critics alike began following Root's innings with some extra amusement, half expecting the improbable, but fully invested. When Joe Root finally broke through a century in Australia, Grace Hayden did not hold back. She admitted it was the first time she was actually rooting for an Englishman in the Ashes series. She also dropped a very cheeky warning to her dad, vowing that she would disown him if he ever made another naked stadium promise again. Watch this.
Those here in the Ashes, Joe Root scored a century, win-win situation for you?
Yes, it was definitely a win-win for my family personally. Obviously, I'm so stoked for the Aussies. It's just how we roll. That's how we want the Ashes to go. Hopefully, it's just a wash of the Aussies taking it all out. But I was so grateful that Root scored 100. It was the first time in my life I've ever thought I wanted an Englishman to do well in an Ashes series. But Root, oh my goodness, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm disowning my father if he honestly says he's going to run naked around anything ever again.
And as you'd expect, the internet went wild. Grace's Instagram post spread fast and social media users had an absolute field day. Memes, jokes and cheers poured in, many celebrating Root's milestone, others poking fun at Hayden's daring bet. On Reddit, one user summed up the collective vibe. Root saved Hayden's dignity this ashes. Meanwhile, other users too thanked Root wholeheartedly for saving what could have been a little too much for everyone's eyes. Now, not all's right in the MAGA universe, viewers. This, as a right-wing podcaster, Tim Pool unleashed a furious tirade this week, ripping into his fellow conservatives in an expletive-filled live stream. Pool, who rose to fame during Occupy Wall Street movement, said that he's done with the faction, accusing them of feeding chaos, conspiracy theories and tearing